What's up, my dudes? Another Back to Basics video, and we're going to introduce a brand new topic. Exponents. Here it is, here it is, here it is. Exponents are fun. Exponents are easy. It's basically a way for you to take a bunch of things that are written out and just cram them into one. So in other words, I have 3 to the 4th power going on here. 3 times... I accidentally gave it away. I have 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. The way I write that out as a power is I use the base that's being multiplied over and over and over and over and over again, and I put a little 4. And that 4 implies how many times it's being used. 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 is 3 to the 4th. Parentheses times parentheses times parentheses, where so that's 3 of them. Each parentheses is exactly the same, and inside each parentheses I have negative 1/2. Don't forget those parentheses. If you forget those parentheses, it's not right. So parentheses, 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 where everything's the same. I have 6.4 times 6.4 times 6.4 times 6.4, 4 of them, times B times B times B. That was supposed to be a different color. B to the 3rd. Easy. Easy. More. I have parentheses negative t times parentheses negative t times parentheses negative t times parentheses negative t times parentheses negative t. So I have parentheses negative t 5 times. I have negative. Okay, so the whole thing's negative. And inside the parentheses, I have 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. So I have 4 of those. Now, see how the negative's outside the parentheses? If I were to put the negative inside the parentheses, it would be wrong. Since the negative was outside the parentheses, I have to keep it outside the parentheses. Technically, I don't even need those parentheses. Evaluate. Ooh, now I get to finally do some math. 5 squared means the squared is attached to the 5. So I write out 5 times 5 times 5 is 25. I can handle that one. I have a 6 attached to a parentheses. So I write out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parentheses. And each parentheses, I have 1 over 2, 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 1 over 2. When you multiply fractions, you multiply straight across the numerator. In other words, you multiply the numbers on the top part of the fraction bar. So I'm literally going to do 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 and get 1. Now I multiply all the numbers in the denominator, which is I'm going to multiply all the numbers on the bottom. So I get 2 times 2, which is 4, times 2, which is 8, times 2, which is 16, times 2, which is 32, times 2, which is 64. Not so bad. What's my cubed attached to? 11. So I'm going to write out 11 times 11 times 11. Oh, but Mr. Parrott, you forgot the negative. I know. There it goes. Boop. Now, why don't I repeat the negative 3 times? Because the cubed isn't attached to the negative. The cubed is only attached to the 11. The cubed is not attached to the negative. It's only attached to the 11. So what I do is I do 11 times 11 times 11, which I don't know. What's 11 times 11? Okay. I'm sorry. What's 11 times 11 times 11?
It's 1,331.
And then don't forget that negative that's living out front. Okay, so again, when I think that's going to come clear. Yeah, that's going to come clear again. What is my squared attached to here? My squared is attached to a parentheses. Living inside the parentheses, I have a 1/12 negative, and a negative 1/12 again. There's 3 parts here that I want to make sure of. I have a negative times a negative, which is a positive. That's 1. I multiply across the numerator. 1 times 1 is 1. And I multiply across the denominator. 12 times 12 is 144. And those are my 3 parts. My 3 parts were negative times a negative, and then 1 times 1, and then 12 times 12. Different here. What's my cubed attached to? The parentheses. So I'm going to write out the parentheses 1, 2, 3 times. Inside the parentheses, I have 1/9, 1/9, and 1/9. Where's my negative? Way out front. Why didn't I write out my negative 3 times? Because the 3 is attached to the parentheses, not the negative. The cubed is attached to the parentheses, not the negative. And if you're wondering, well, why did you write out the negative 2 times in the red problem? Because in the previous problem, the squared was attached to the parentheses, like I just said, and inside the parentheses was a negative. So whatever the parenthesis or whatever your squared or your cubed or whatever is attached to, if it's a parentheses, you rewrite everything inside that parentheses. So I wrote out negative 1/12. I wrote out 1/9. That negative here lives on the outside, so keep it on the outside. Okay? I have 9 times 9 times 9, which I think I know, but I'm not sure. I think it's 700 something. What's 9 times 9 times 9?
It's 729.
1 times 1 times 1 is 1, and that negative lives on the outside. Okay? What's my 6 attached to? Parentheses. Parentheses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And inside the parentheses, I have negative 1 times 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 negative 1. So I have 6 negatives being multiplied together. Okay? There's my 6. Negative times a negative is a positive. Negative times a negative is a positive. Negative times a negative is a positive. So all of this becomes positive. 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. And that's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Not so bad, huh? Bye.